Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. It's been a little while since I've seen the Dylan Mulvaney clone, and that is James is Smiling come across my X feed. But lo and behold, James is Smiling came across my X feed. By the way, if you're not following along over on X, it's J_Phantom. I would love for you to follow me over there if you want. Links are available in the show description. But I used to get videos all the time of James is Smiling, Dylan Mulvaney teaming up, and James is Smiling used to have like these weird, wacky, crazy videos. Spoiler alert, they're still weird, wacky, and we're going to be talking all about that in just a moment. But before then, James wasn't actually diving deep into the full transition thing. James would come up with all these different excuses of why James is not on, the cross hormones regiment, and why James isn't, having surgery, why James isn't doing this, this, and this. And James will come up with these like ludicrous excuses of saying, which I think they're all just dumb if you ask me. But James would go, well, anyone can be trans if you identify as being trans. That's how ridiculous it actually is. So you don't need to go through the full, surgery, the hormones. You don't need to go through any of that sort of stuff. So the ones that actually do end up going through the hormones, the surgeries, and whatever else, butcher and mutilate their own bodies, those people are still just as much trans as James that has chosen to identify as being trans. And I'm going, what is the whole point of this maddening thing at all? If you can just you can ruin your entire body, and then someone doesn't ruin their body and you still are somehow equal on the playing field there. It just, one person's destroyed their entire body. The other person has just thought about it for 1 second and gone, hey, I'm not doing that. But anyway, James is Smiling has gone through a little bit of a indoctrination period, I guess you could call it, and obsessing over James's gender for a very, very long time has led James to go down the path of hormone therapy, pumping James' self full of estrogen. And well, it is definitely shown. Already James was a little bit, out there with acting as if James was a female, and, the overarching parody of women, I guess you could say, which is exactly what Dylan Mulvaney does for dramatic effect, right? So Dylan, I don't think is on hormone therapy treatment. Otherwise, it would show. I think Dylan is just playing a role, which James was doing for quite some time. And now James is seemingly gone on the hormone therapy. And well, ladies and gentlemen, it is starting to really show, and it's not a good thing at all. And because I had to watch this video, which was a painful, and I mean a painful 3 minutes of my life, you guys have to watch and sit through the 3 minutes of James telling everyone how James feels more like a woman than James initially anticipated, because James has gone on estrogen. Have a watch.
It feels impossible for me to make this video for some reason because it's so emotionally charged right now, but I have to tell you some of the good things that are happening. I've been talking to my doctors and my therapist a lot about how I am more of a woman than I initially anticipated. I don't know why that feels like such a huge thing to say. I don't want to leave behind anybody in the non-binary community. I will never forego that label. It will always feel like something accurate to me. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Why is this such a big thing? I have felt more of a call than ever to get in touch with who I truly am. And it's just coming out as a woman. Every single time I see myself in the future, I see myself as a woman, as a mother. I see myself turning into my mom. The good parts and the parts I don't want to turn into. I'm sure we can all relate to that. Oh God, this is such a disaster. I wanted to make a happy video. I swear to God, this is good. I had my first, where are my glasses? I can't even see you. This is going horribly. Sit there for a second. I had my first appointment where I switched from estrogen pills to injections, and it was so emotional. I looked at the nurse and I was sobbing. She's a friend of mine, and I said, I feel like me for the first time, and I don't know why. I feel like I keep having all these new moments of discovery, and it is not a coincidence that it's happening in this political moment. I know that for a fact. because I am digging my heels in as hard as I can to the transness that everyone hates, because I want, as I always say, I want to love us twice as hard as they hate us, and sometimes that starts with myself. I had my first laser hair removal appointment the other day, which is something I never thought I was going to say, but now all of a sudden I look at my face and I'm dysphoric as about it, and you know what? Off it goes. These have really grown. Honestly, I love them, and so do all the boys in this neighborhood, so. As our bodily autonomy as trans people is being stripped away, I feel a sense of survivor's guilt having these euphoric experiences. I understand that it is a product of my privilege, of my thinness, of my whiteness, of the fact that I have a savings account now I didn't used to. Please understand that when I'm telling you this, the privilege of having these experiences is not lost on me. And the reason I'm telling you this is because I want everybody else to have them. I want my joy to be witnessed so it doesn't get taken away from other people. Every trans person deserves this kind of joy. Every trans person deserves access to medical care. Every trans person deserves to be loved by the world and the community that they live in. It feels so weird to be having these wins right now. And also, it is the thing that is giving me hope. So I hope that I can impart that to you so that you can continue fighting for people like me, because I just want a whole world of happy trans people crying about how great their latest HRT appointment went. I just want us all to be okay. So thanks for watching this disaster of a video. I love you. I'm gonna go wash my face because it is full of salt. Love you.
Imagine being the therapist, hearing James is smiling, a biological dude sitting right across from you, and James is talking about how James feels more like a woman than James initially anticipated. A therapist is going, yeah, sure. I totally believe that this is normal. By all means, James, please let it out. Let me have everything that you are thinking and you're feeling at this present point in time. Let me know how much more of a woman you feel like at the moment than you initially anticipated, which to me, I would be, if I was the therapist sitting down looking at this person, I'd be going, you're psychologically needing help. There's something not right going on. You can tell me everything that you're feeling and everything you want. More than likely, it's a lie. But yeah. So James is smiling, is apparently non-binary, trans, claiming to be a woman at the same time. I still don't understand the whole non-binary category. I just don't get it. I don't understand the trans category to begin with. It's just it's highly confusing. In fact, the other day I was somewhere and I was speaking to some of my friends, and they were talking about the Sydney Marathon, I believe it is, and how they've got a non-binary category in there. And I'm going, huh? What does it actually mean? So I can be a man, right? And I can identify as being a woman, which or I just identify as being non-binary. I'm not identifying as either a male or a female. I'm just it. I am something. I'm a human that is just apparently existing, right? And you got your own separate category because you're neither male or female according to your own delusional reality, right? And apparently the non-binary time is less than the male time, and also less than and more than the female time. So how does that actually work? You may be wondering. I think they've just gone, all right, the male time is X and the female time is X. All right, let's split the difference, put it in between. And my mate was going, yeah, I'll just sign up in the non-binary category. No one really care anyway. Imagine finishing, you won in the non-binary category. What? It's ridiculous, man. Honestly, ridiculous. But James is smiling, going, I don't want to leave anybody behind in the non-binary community. It's a label. You said it, man. It's a label. You're putting all these labels upon yourself, and what do you expect? How is that actually going to help you? That's the point of all this, is a label that I'm attaching myself to. It's part of my identity, evidently speaking, is somehow going to harm all of the crazy noises in one's head. And that, to me, just seems a little bit ridiculous when you think about it longer than, say, 5 minutes. I see myself turning into more of a woman, and I see myself being a mother, turning into my mother, the good parts and the not so good parts. I mean, that mate, have to break the bad news to you, but you're never going to be a mother. But again, they'll probably slap the label upon themselves and go, I am a mother. And you cannot take that away from me, even though I'm a biological dude. You won't be able to get pregnant. That's never going to happen. I don't even foresee these stingbats thinking, oh, I'm going to change everything up in my body and I'll be able to have. I just personally think that that is going way too far. And if that was to ever occur, I really believe that God's going to be like, nah, enough's enough. I'm sick of this. I'm coming back right now. These dingbats, they need some significant help. But yeah, mate, I hate to break it to you, but you're just a little bit hormonal at the moment, full of estrogen. And it's also, for me, when I'm watching this, seems like more of an act and a play. Just the crying, the, trying to act as if they're an emotional woman. It doesn't look right at all. And I don't think, ladies, I know in the comment section you're going to probably blast it and go, this is not how we behave. And I agree with you. I don't know any woman that actually behaves like this. I know lots of men that think that they're women that behave like this. Maybe there's a category for them. I guess that would be the emotional man, the emotional dingbat man that thinks he's a woman category. I don't know. We can agree on one thing. It is a very disastrous video. I guess that's probably the only thing we can actually agree on this video. And secondly, I don't think any of the boys in your neighborhood actually like your just bigger pectoral muscle just growing out, being a moob, not an actual boob. I'm just pointing that out to you. What a weird, strange thing. Just, I told you it was gonna be like one of those painful videos that you watch, and I ended up posting it on my video on my X account, sorry, and saying, well, because I watched it, so therefore you guys have to watch it as well. You guys can thank me later, huh? Anyway, that's enough from me, but you guys take care, be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.